And I did that reading to say this: if we're paying attention, we're shifting away from that period of the Masonic rule. Whether one views their historical influence through like the lens of political networking or deeper esoteric control, the infrastructure of secrecy that wants to find their power is visibly eroding. It's a collapse of this secrecy. And for centuries, the Masons' power was rooted in mystery, and in the past, the only way to access their architectural or spiritual secrets was through years of initiation. I mean, they can only blame themselves because they took what was supposed to be a brotherhood and made it into a mask to hide behind the corruption and the evil doings. Today, virtually every ritual, handshake, and secret text is available online. So when mystery becomes a commodity, the aura of the organization fades, basically. And as society moves towards a value system of transparency, organizations that require vows of silence are increasingly viewed with suspicion rather than respect. And statistically, Freemasonry is facing a crisis of relevance. Membership numbers in major jurisdictions have dropped nearly 25% in the last 2 decades. Yes, I'm a nerd, so I just know random shit. But it's the death of the lodge culture as we move into New Earth. The 20th century model of this men's clerking is being replaced by decentralized digital communities. And maybe this isn't important to some people. I mean, it's a little bit different than my readings, but it's actually a huge thing in the spiritual community. Why do you think it's the fight between the light and the dark so bad? They want to hold on to this, the secrets, the corruption, and the younger generations are less inclined to join a formal hierarchy institution that requires lifelong loyalty and regular physical attendance. Many lodges are even resorting to like Facebook ads to find new members. I've seen it. A move that would have been unthinkable for a ruling elite 50 years ago. So the shift from hidden to open influence, historically Masons have significant ruling power because politicians, the businessmen, they met to build trust. My high spiritual ranking brothers and sisters in the spiritual community, they're going to know exactly what I'm talking about and how huge this is for us. We're building new power centers. Power has largely migrated from brick and mortar fraternal order to tech-based circles and globalist think tanks, okay? And these new entities don't use old world symbols or rituals. They use algorithms, they use data, and they use economic policy. And it's a common thing status. The Mason lodges were once the center of town life, okay? I grew up in a family of Masons, okay? I didn't know they were Masons till I was older, but now I get it and I understand it. But today they are often seen, I'm not saying every single Mason lodge is evil or corrupt, but the majority of them are. I know back in the day, like I had my stepdad before he passed away, he was a biker. So like I remember him participating in like a lot of charity work and fundraisers. And that's what it was like years ago. But let me tell you, I've seen 17 raids in Mason lodges I live in Florida. In the past year. So I'm just going by what I, have noticed. And I noticed I'm the one chosen being in a whole family of Masons. My chosens understand what I'm talking about. It's just a common thing. I could go on for days on these subjects. But what I'm trying to say is that we're entering the era of the individual, okay? We are moving into what many call a decentralized era. It's the end of gatekeeping, okay? In previous centuries, a few masters held the key to esoteric knowledge. I know about the Masons. I know about the occult because as a chosen being, you need to know what the opponent is working with. It's just playing chess while they're playing checkers. But we are now in a time where individuals are encouraged to map their own souls, find their own blueprints without needing a middleman or a secret society. I don't like secrets. I don't like people who participate in secret life. Stay away from me. It's the shadow and the light. You know, there's a growing collective awareness regarding shadow work, and as more people integrate their own dark and light aspects, the need for external organization or guard these mystery, diminishes. I know I get passionate when I talk. A lot of people say, oh, you're too much, Cass, but I'm a passionate talker. It's my energy, So if you didn't know, now you know. As a spiritual teacher, I'll be schooling y'all on all, what's going on. So that's why the readings are about corruption, about cults and secret societies and everything, because right now we're at that brink where we're moving into new earth and